It's part 5 of 100 ideas for your gap time. And today we're going to be talking about career related experiences or opportunities that can give you some insight into your professional path. So I know that a lot of young adults don't know what they want to be when they grow up, and that's because no one knows what they want to be when they grow up. It's part of a lifelong journey of exploration, and a great thing that you can do on your gap year to start that journey is to job shadow or do informational interviews with people whose jobs you admire. That means that you can go in an informal way, less formal than an internship or working experience, and get to know what those careers are like from the people that are doing them. And the best way to get started with that is to just reach out, cold email, call, or maybe get a connection through a mutual acquaintance like a family friend or your parents, and ask them out to coffee, ask them for some time, and like 9 times out of 10, they will grant you that time. If you are looking for some experience in a certain industry, especially if it's in this kind of renewable energy space, sustainable agriculture, or something along those lines, you can actually get that experience through work exchange opportunities like Workaway. There's this amazing place that I'm thinking about in Spain right now that is totally off the grid. And when you go and work stay there, you can actually learn all about solar energy, about rainwater catching, and all sorts of other types of sustainable living. So whether you're an engineer focus or maybe an agriculture focus, those types of opportunities can be an amazing way to travel while gaining some ideas about what that could look like in practical application. Gap year is also a great time to gain certifications, and I've had students do coding boot camps before, and this might be just to learn a new coding language or to test out a career in computer science, but either way, it's something that you can then use to your advantage through getting a side job or even working towards a potential degree or certificate program. So it's a great way to explore computer sciences. Did you know that you can actually intern abroad on your gap year? This is something that a lot of my students do on their gap year. They can actually join programs that will arrange internships in professional settings for you. And oftentimes you actually get to live in apartments with other interns. So it's a great, again, travel and work experience that you can then put on your resume. It looks amazing. It can build you towards your career path. So some cities that are really common for this type of experience are places like Dublin, Ireland, Cape Town, South Africa, Buenos Aires, Sydney, Australia, places like that. If you're interested in an industry in the outdoors or an industry on our public lands, I would highly recommend looking into conservation corps work during your gap year. This is basically publicly funded crews that go and help on our public lands, building trails, removing debris, helping sometimes build new trails. And again, it's a great way to understand about land management and looks awesome on resumes. And also you get to like hang out with other people your own age who are on these crews. So, and you earn money too. So it's a job and a stipend. And sometimes you're even eligible for education awards to use towards higher ed afterwards. If you're savvy with social media and you also want to travel during your gap year, consider looking into work exchanges where people need social media experts at places like hostels or other types of tourism locations. Sometimes they will give you free room and board in exchange for running the social media accounts or blogging or doing other types of social content making as part of your exchange. So it's a really great opportunity to build your resume and your skill set in that area while also staying in some cool places. So I know I was just talking up the idea of interning abroad, but you can also intern locally. And a lot of times, the best way to get jobs or internships locally is through your own personal network. So parents, teachers, mentors, other people that you know who may have ideas about who they know or who works in a certain industry that you're interested in. That can be a great way to look into possible internships. Other great resources are, online job boards. Even Craigslist sometimes can have some good ideas, and LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, now's a good time to make one. If you're interested in STEM careers, especially the biological sciences, I'd highly recommend volunteering at a biological research station or field research station, either here in the States or abroad. Many of these stations actually utilize volunteers to help collect field data, to help analyze that data, and you learn so much about data collection, about analyzing data, and about working as a field scientist in those roles. So not only can you go to really, really cool ecosystems and locations all over the world, but it's a really, really good skill to both have on your resume and also test out whether you like that type of work in your future career potentially. Lastly, if you're like, I have no idea what I want to be, I don't know what I want to do, you're curious about something And I often will encourage young people who don't know at all what they want to do as a career to just explore a lot of different things over the course of their gap year. One suggestion would be to join an experiential semester gap year program. There's a lot of these listed on the Gap Year Association website. And the cool thing about these programs is that you get to see and do a lot in a short amount of time, and you get to meet so many people. And oftentimes, through those conversations, through those experiential activities, and through that own internal growth process that you will go under, you will discover so much more about what you might want to study in college and what you want to do maybe afterwards. So, this is a time of exploration. These are just some ideas about how you can explore your own career path on a gap year, but a lot of times it's well worth it. In fact, a majority of gap year students who take gap time say that they have more clarity around their career path and college major as a result of their gap time. So, consider a gap year.